Dale Carnegie's radio program, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Lesson 1, gain insight into handling difficult people. Discover the keys to popularity, how young people can look for a job, and what employers want in their employees. Copyright 2006 BN Publishing. Online at bnpublishing.com. Dale Carnegie's radio program, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Lesson 1, gain insight into handling difficult people. Discover the keys to popularity, how young people can look for a job, and what employers want in their employees. Copyright 2006 BN Publishing. Online at bnpublishing.com. Gain insight into handling difficult people. Tune in to Dale Carnegie's live radio broadcast in a particularly amusing edition of How to Win Friends and Influence People. Gain insight into handling difficult people through the personal exploits of Dale Carnegie's guests, and benefit from learning Carnegie's How to Win rule of the week of the futility of letting ourselves get upset by trivialities. Now, Colgate Shave Creams present Dale Carnegie in person. Good evening, everyone. If you think you have difficulties in winning friends and influencing people, just listen to the story of Cliff Sabry. Cliff Sabry is cruise director for the Cunard White Star Line. Each year he takes 300 or 400 people on a world tour, visiting every continent washed by the 7 seas. And the most important part of his job is to keep these people happy and contented under all sorts of conditions. Cliff Sabry is here in the studio, and in about 14 seconds, he's going to step up in front of this microphone and tell you some of the things he has learned about handling difficult and unreasonable people. Mr. Sabry, you must get some mighty strange demands from people when you're halfway around the world and 1,000 miles from nowhere. Yes, most people are good sports, Mr. Carnegie, but others... Well, you'd be amazed to see how some people react when they get off the beaten track. It's easy enough to be pleasant when you have all the conveniences we're used to in America. Electric lights, shower baths, ice water. But naturally, you can't get all these things at the far ends of the earth. And that's when human nature begins to tell. Yes, I'll bet it is. Take, for example, one woman who was with us on a world cruise, Mr. Carnegie. You know the type. Nothing seemed to please her. I was taking 130 people by train to see the Victoria Falls on the Zambezi River in South Africa, one of the most breathtaking sights on earth. The other 129 people were perfectly happy and contented, but not this woman. The train was only 15 minutes out of Johannesburg when she sent for me. Ladies and gentlemen, what happened when Mr. Sabry answered this woman's call is so interesting and so amusing, yet at the same time so instructive, that I have asked our actors here to dramatize the scene. For obvious reasons, we can't use the woman's real name, so we'll call her Mrs. Smith. All right, let's imagine we are on that train in Africa bound for Victoria Falls. Mrs. Smith has sent for Mr. Sabry. Let's hear what she has to say.
Mr. Sabry, if you think for 1 minute that I'm going to put up with this for 8 days and 8 nights, you've got another thing coming.
Why, what's wrong, Mrs. Smith?
Huh? What's wrong? Just listen to the noise from that engine. I spend more than $4,000 to come on this trip, and you put me in the car right behind the engine?
But, Mrs. Smith, you made your reservation at the last minute, so naturally you got the last compartment available.
Well, I'm not going to stand for this. You've got to do something. I should write your home office and report this outrage. I should be a nervous wreck.
But, Mrs. Smith, what would you do in my place?
Well, I don't know, but do something, anything. Why can't you put the engine on the back of the train?
But did you say put the engine on the back of the train?
Why, certainly. I've seen it done lots of times in America. You simply push the train instead of pulling it.
But, Mrs. Smith, we don't own the railroad, you know? We simply charter the train for this side trip.
Then wire the railroad. Get permission. Do something. I can't stand that noise. I tell you, and I won't. Why, I've traveled all over the United States and Europe, and I've never received such treatment before. Do you know who I am?
Well, now, Mrs. Smith, I do realize who you are, and for that reason I am especially sorry that you should suffer this inconvenience.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?